What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Woo! You see that heavy bag work. So, shout out to my dude, Errol Spence Jr. He has an upcoming fight. Very good fight. Not being talked about enough, but it's on the Broner Porter card. I'm enjoying this whole PBC thing, man, because even though some of the fights, like Guerrero and Martinez, on paper that wasn't supposed to be that great. Same thing with Algieri and Amir Khan. Those actually turned out to be good fights. And there's other fights where I wanted to really see them and I was anticipating them, and they didn't live up to what I was expecting from the fight. So that's a solid night of boxing, June 20th. Just tons of stuff going on. I want to talk about Errol Spence Jr. in this video. A lot of people ask me, even on some of the Monday mail days, they're like, what's so great about him? Why is he so special? And here's the thing. For me, I don't just jump on people's bandwagon. I'm not going to get on here and say this dude is the truth. I believe he can hold the torch if I don't believe that, because I've just seen it too many times in the sport of boxing. Particularly, you get a guy like Jermaine Taylor, they look stellar, they look exceptional. You get guys like Kelly Pavlik, and then they never amount to what they're supposed to amount to. You know what I mean? They're good, solid fighters, but they don't do the things in the sport that you expected. Chad Dawson is another person that kind of fell off, and now you don't even hear about him. Mike Alvarado was being revered as the truth. Brandon Rios, then he had some difficult losses. Audley Harrison. There's just a ton of guys like that who, at the time when they were coming up, they were like, this is the one to watch. So I'm very particular who I co-sign, me personally. And Errol Spence Jr. has been a person that I've co-signed for a while. I think he's the goods. You guys seen the clips. He was just ripping to the heavy bag. One of the things that I think he does that is underappreciated and underrated is he stays in shape year-round, and his body work. He has great punch variation, and I like his dedication to the body. That really slows down guys, especially when some of the guys are older than him, maybe like shop worn, or, you know what I mean, been through wars and stuff. That is really taxing on the body, and not enough people have a dedicated body attack from fight to fight. Sometimes people do it real good and then they'll fall off in the next fight and then they won't really attack the body. But listen to one of my favorites of all time, Roy Jones Jr. He always talks about the body attack. He said, go to the body, the head will fall. And that's absolutely true. A head can move, especially if the fighter's well versed, but the body is going to be more stationary. So it's a great target. And then the other thing is, some of these dudes are just fucking tough. Some guys, you're just not going to knock them out with headshots only. You know what I'm saying? You got to abuse and beat up their body. And I think that's what Errol Spence Jr. is prepared to do versus Roberto Garcia. And I'm looking forward to that. Not the trainer, Robert Garcia, but the fighter, the one that was supposed to fight Shawn Porter. He had to pull out because he got ill. But then he had another match that came up against another veteran. And I think Errol Spence Jr. is going to show you the separation, because Roberto Garcia won that last fight. And the other guy was an up-and-coming prospect. He was doing some good things, but he just, through the entirety, he just wasn't doing enough to win that particular fight. I think Errol Spence Jr. is going to show that separation. And another thing that I like about Errol Spence Jr. in this particular fight with Roberto Garcia is he fought on the Con Alexander card, I believe it was, and he fought a guy named Castro, another Mexican fighter who was very tough. And he had to think a little bit so he didn't punch himself out. And the guy just wouldn't go down at first. He ended up getting the stoppage, but he had to put work in. And I mean, he was hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink, and the guy was just that tough, and he had to get creative. So, like I said, you don't want to punch yourself out. But Garcia's game, he's tough. He got stopped before, but it was against Antonio Margarito. So I will be impressed, because Antonio Margarito, he also stopped Cotto. Was he cheating? We don't really know. But Antonio Margarito also stopped Sergio Martinez. You know what I mean? And he gave a tough fight to Paul Williams, and he fought Shane Mosley. So to get stopped by Margarito, that's one thing. But to get stopped, if Errol Spence Jr. can do it, by a young prospect who hasn't really fought anyone at that level in the pros, it will be a signature of how good he is, and that will prove something as far as I'm concerned, because he hasn't this is probably the best name on his resume in terms of Roberto Garcia, a gamey guy who's big, who has a little bit of momentum from his win last time on primetime TV. So we'll see what happens. But I like what I'm seeing. Errol Spence, he already looks in shape. He looks big. He looks ready to go. And I'm telling you guys to watch out for that body attack. I think that will play a key in the fight with Roberto Garcia. But again, getting stopped by a veteran like Margarito versus stopped by Errol Spence Jr., would be impressive because, you know what I mean, I expect someone who, Margarito's been in there with elite names like Cotto. We've seen the outcome of those particular fights. But Errol Spence Jr. hasn't fought anyone really who, you know what I mean, this is probably his biggest step up at this moment because they're kind of bringing him along a little bit slower. I think he's ready. There's guys he can beat. There's guys with names that I would pick him to beat right now, like Victor Ortiz, Josito Lopez, probably Berto. You know what I'm saying? I would pick him to beat a couple of guys right now, but for whatever reason, they're making sure he gets his seasoning in, gets, you know what I mean, gets his wins up, his confidence up, and then they're going to put him in there with the real live dogs. So this is a good fight. Make sure you guys check it out. Let me know what you guys think of Errol Spence Jr. after. I will do a post-fight, I'm sure, or talk about it. Let me know what you think from the training clip as well. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.